everyone. Adam Savage here in my cave, and I just wanted to show you a couple of locks today. That's all that we're gonna do. This is my Lockpicking Lawyer video. If you don't follow the Lockpicking Lawyer, if you haven't seen the Lockpicking Lawyer's YouTube channel, you should go. We'll include a link in the description. One of my favorite channels. And I have found lots of coveted things on the Lockpicking Lawyer's channel because he covers some really esoteric locks. Is this reasonable, or should I? Maybe that's a little better. At any rate, Lockpicking Lawyer covers some magnificent locks, and I'm going to cover one in this video after the first one. But the first one comes from a fan that came up to my table at a recent con and brought me this lock. Plasty lock. Minimal security. And he was just showing me the kind of stuff he did. We will include a link to this is a downloadable file, printable file. This is printed on an FDM printer. Lovely print. And it includes a key. Here's the key. And the key goes in and it opens and the lock comes out. Okay. That is freaking fantastic. I love this, but there's something about it that I love even more that you might not realize. And that is, this is entirely print in place. There are mechanics in here, and still, this is a print in place lock. So you cannot print these pieces separately and put them back together later. They have to be printed together. And that's kind of amazing. So this is the kind of thing that I really particularly dig, which is, here is a person. It's not like someone in their lives is like, hey man, I really need a print-in-place padlock that is not useful for security. It's not like someone said that to them, but they thought to themselves, I want to tackle the challenge of making a mechanical object that requires no assembly that I can print in place. It is a remarkable testament to the advances in 3D printing. I know I'm banging on about 3D printing all the time, but it's a remarkable testament to the advancement in the process that things this complex and even more complex can be built in situ. And I know, like, you know, within resin printing, there's a lot of this kind of thing, less in FDM, but the thing about this exercise is this maker is substantively making the world a better place. They are pushing the art and the technology and the science of 3D printing forward by gaining institutional knowledge from how to do this. I really, 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 I don't just believe that, I know it, which means I believe it really strongly. And I am here for that kind of exercise. You may do stuff like this, like I do, like weird stuff that's hard to explain to your grandmother or your great uncle at a wedding. And you may even have people in your life that insult you for the weird stuff that you do. But what I want to say is this sort of excursion, this sort of engineering challenge that this person set for themselves and executed, this is where all innovation comes from. It comes from this moment of a person. Yeah, necessity is the mother of invention, but so is boredom, and so is curiosity, and so is love. Well, I could do a whole separate video on all of those things, but I think curiosity is the mother of invention. And this is a person that wonders, I wonder if I can do this. And then they do. And like we all do, when we succeed at a challenge, we get a little more ambitious. I wonder if I could do this other slightly more complicated thing or this more complex thing. And then before you know it, this person may get reached out to by some company looking to solve a problem, and they found his thing. They're going to bring him in to be this expert because it turns out this dumb excursion built all this important institutional knowledge in their head that is now useful to somebody, and they can get paid for it. I really, really appreciate, and I want to just give the biggest possible shout out to, I want to say dumb stuff like this. I really mean that in the most loving way. Like, it's really important to be bored and to around. Bleep me, please. It's really important to screw around. There really should be like, yeah. Anyway, that's I think I have made my point. This thing came. He didn't intend to give me this either when he brought it to my table. He was just showing me stuff that he made, and I was so going off about this. He's like, do you want it? And I'm like, yes, I want it. I'm delighted to be the owner of this, and thank you. Yeah. Now to a real lock, now to a actual security lock. Let's call it a maximal security lock. Oh, I'm going to change the camera angle. There we go. Ooh, let's lower this. This magnificence, this magnificence is the Bowley 543 lock made by the Bowley Lock Company. We'll include a link to them in the description, Bowley. I found out about this lock on the Lockpicking Lawyer's channel. Bowley has been sending locks to him, more than one, and they have been transparent about their development process, and they have built a surpassingly beautiful lock. This was not cheap. It's a big hunk of high security stainless steel with a big old hardened shackle. This was hundreds of dollars, and in my opinion, worth it. It is a piece of art. Lockpicking Lawyer does a detailed breakdown. Again, we'll include a link to his video about the Bowley lock in this description. Lockpicking Lawyer does a deep and beautiful dive into the mechanics of this, and I'm going to take it apart. But if you want the more really detailed professional breakdown, go to his channel. So aside from just being good-looking lock, right, nice and high security, it's the key that really first captured me. There she is. Yeah. What's going on with this key? This looks like I can't get a pick up the center and affect the pins. I believe it is a 9-pin lock with 5 pins over here and 4 over here. Pigeons up there. They are noisy little effers. Look at this key. What is going on with this key? Well, what's going on with this key is that you put it in the lock as it is, and then you turn it about, I would say about 15 degrees, and then it pushes in, and then you turn it another 90 degrees, and the shackle comes out. It's a double ball bearing construction in here, so the ball bearings go into these little notches, and frankly, it's pretty crazy secure. This tends to be apparently a slightly thinner shackle than would be on a lock of this cost and size, but Bowley explains that they want this to be a versatile lock that you could use on a bunch of different things, so they included a slightly lighter weight shackle than would normally be there, and it's still pretty beefy as heck. Oh, right, yeah, so I wanted to open this up. I want to open this up for you. Wait, there we go. Okay, now I'm going to get a Allen wrench. Oh, I wish I had a picking tray here. Here we go. Okay. So here comes the first way in which we learn why the key is the shape that it is. The key can only go into the lock in one way. If you try it the other way, it can kind of fit, but it really doesn't want to. And that feel is pretty straightforward. So it comes into the, all right, so let's get ahead of myself. Here we go. This is the bottom of the lock. As you can see, it is a nice, beefy, fat piece of stainless, very hard. And the key comes up through here. And here is where this magnificence, this is called a warded lock because this circular ward prevents a pick from getting to where the pins are, because the key comes in this way and then the pins are here. They're here and here. Yeah. There are people who have picked this lock on YouTube, but they explain just how hard it is to pick these locks. If you buy one of these locks, Lockpicking Lawyer makes the recommendation not to pull them apart while it is unlocked because they can explode. Reader, I had that happen to me just a couple nights ago because I was playing around with this on my office desk, and I remembered the opposite of what Lockpicking Lawyer told me, and all of the pins came out of this. I was able to get them all back in and assemble the lock correctly. This is the main barrel of it. Again, I'm not going to do a full deconstruction except to say that when it is unlocked, a pair of magnets hold the bearings in. And, you know, when it's locked, these are sticking out and are into the shackle. And again, I bought this because it's beautiful, because it is a really simple and gorgeous execution. Locks are hard to make. They're a very already full space of engineering companies, but not all locks are created equal by any stretch of the imagination. And, you know, a lot of civilians, when they first hear about lock sport and like Lockpicking Lawyer, they start to worry that their house is not secure. And what I'm here to say is, you know, security is always a moving target in terms of how much people want your stuff. So a determined actor can get through your front door almost no matter what you have locking it. But that's not what security isn't about. The best of all possible solutions. It's about the solution that fits the real world example right now. I don't know why I went into that long diatribe, except to say that I love locks. I love their manufacturing and their complexity. And frankly, for a lock that has a key this bizarro, and Lockpicking Lawyer walked around with this in his pocket for a few weeks and said, that is not a delicate key. It is not like if you were worried about buying this, like, I don't know if that key can stand up for it. This key totally can stand up to it. I am not going to put this back together for you on camera, simply because that's exactly where I'll put it back together wrong and not figure it out until later. But if you guys have Yeah, we all watch The Lockpicking Lawyer. But if you guys have some spectacular locks that you love, that you want to let me know about, I totally want to hear about them. Or even just weird bits of highly, and maybe even some would say over-engineered household objects. I totally want to hear about that too. I think I've covered everything I want to cover in this. Look at how simple and beautiful this thing is. It all just slots together. I mean, the difficulty, this is what I realized. The important difficulty about locks is that, to a large degree, complexity, while it can seemingly add security, often removes it with delicacy, right? So you can build a lock that is crazy secure, but all the fitment in it will be so precise that it's impossible to manufacture. Or you make one that's mass market that everyone can buy for $1, and the tolerances are so loose you could pick it with a booger and a straw. And all lock construction and engineering falls between those two poles. This is a beautiful example of a non-standard, brand new lock structure done in a very simple and manufacturable way. And I'm here for that. Oh no! See, I pulled it out and one of the pins came out, which means I've got a couple of hours of work ahead of me. Maybe not a couple of hours, but I lost one of the pins in there. Yeah, no, I'm not going to walk. We're not going to cover me fixing this. But a little pin and a little spring came out. Oh, 2 pins. I lost 2 pins. 2 pins and 1 spring. That is a boring problem. Thank you guys for joining me. I feel confident I can get it back together. Here we go. All right. Here's what happened. I opened it up a little too much, and it released one pin stack, is what it did. And with the camera off, I had a phone meeting, and while I was in the phone meeting, I was thinking about this, and I was realizing, you know what? Actually, if one pin came out, it was the top pin. And on this key, I can see that there is a hierarchy to the pin. So it would be on the high side, and it would be the top pin. Ergo, it should be fairly easy to replace. Let me see here. Right, that's how it goes. So, and the key turns to the right. So it would be here, and all I've got to do is peel back this brass thing, and I should be able to see it and pop the pin stack back in. Here comes your close-up. Bingo! See, there's a spring in there, but not there. So I was able to diagnose. Now the pin with the cone at the end of it, that one goes down first. Oh my God, my fingers are so big and dumb in this. Here we go, doink. And then the second pin goes on top of that, doop. And then, let me get some tweezers. Tweezers. Oh, yo. All right. This is where you can send your spring to some far off distant land if you're not careful. But, I bent the brass. All right, there we go. Okay. So then that hasn't moved that much. So it goes in here. It doesn't go, yeah, it goes in here like this. Oh, so sorry. All right, so this comes in here like this because that lines up with the pin in there to affect the amount that it can turn. There we go, okay. And then this comes down on top of that, and the question is, yeah, the high side. The high side is that side, and oh, whoops, whoops. All right, so that's the high, wait, no. Yeah, that's the high side, that's the high side. And we gotta put these guys back in. How does that work? I wonder. Ooh, hey, that worked. Oh, how do I do the second one? All right, here we go. Oh, come on. Oh, whoo. Got it. Okay. So then this sits in here, comme ça. Doink. This sits in here. Yep, that's the high side. The high side's the skinny side. Doink. Okay, everything's back in place. So now we drop a... Oh, whoops. Sorry. Got to move the ball bearings out of the way so that the locking hex screws can go back in. What the? Okay. Joe! Okay, I got that one. The second one is such a bear. Okay, I just need a second tool, that's all. Yep, okay. So then... Oh, for f***'s sake! That's me having pulled out all of the pins. That's what just happened. That's boring. Oh my goodness. All right.